From speeding down residential areas to tragic accidents that left families in tears, here's what happens when street racing goes wrong. Today's video was requested by Jonathan. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 8. Dubbo crash. In April 2012, two vehicles were involved in a drag race gone wrong on Brisbane Street in Dubbo, Australia. One was a Holden Statesman and the other a Mitsubishi FTO. Both vehicles were driven by men in their early 20s. As they sped along the street, they reached a rise on the stretch of the road known by residents as a portion where accidents frequently happened. Both drivers independently lost control of their vehicles. The Statesman hit a tree on private property, while the Mitsubishi clipped an electric pole before hitting another tree in the adjoining property. The driver of the Mitsubishi was ejected 16 feet from his vehicle and landed on the road. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The noise of the impact woke up the couple inside the house, who discovered the FTO pinned against a tree in their front yard. Neighbors compared the scene to that of a bomb site. The driver of the Statesman was pronounced dead at the scene. There was also a passenger inside the vehicle, a 19-year-old male who suffered severe neck injuries. Two other young men had reportedly gotten out of the vehicles before the drag race started. According to one of the residents, the two of them kept talking about not wanting to go to one of their friend's funeral. Number 7. Accident in North Little Rock. 12-year-old Aniya was killed in June 2018 in what the police believe was an illegal race. Aniya's father, Lynn Scales, was driving a Ford Crown Victoria, racing against a maroon Ford Mustang driven by Brandon Rogers. The two men were driving at a high speed down Riverfront Drive in North Little Rock, Arkansas. At some point, without any consideration that his daughter was in the car with him, Scales swerved into the Mustang, striking it on the side. Rogers also had a child in the vehicle with him, an 11-year-old boy. The impact caused both drivers to lose control of their vehicles. They struck several trees and street signs before the Crown Victoria hit a pole so hard that it was torn in half. Aniya was the only fatality in the accident, while the others sustained serious injuries. Both drivers were arrested and charged with child endangerment as well as street racing. Additionally, Scales was charged with manslaughter. This wasn't the first run-in with the law for either of them. Rogers' criminal record included selling stolen aluminium, a carjacking, as well as drug trafficking and firearm charges. Scales' criminal history is even darker. In 2009, he and his cousin took part in a robbery in which a man was fatally shot. Scales then hid the gun used by his cousin in the murder. He later testified against him in return for a reduced sentence, but still went to prison. In fact, he was on parole at the time of the accident that claimed his daughter's life. Number 6. San Bernardino accident. A high-speed drag race in San Bernardino, California ended in tragedy in the spring of 2016, but no names were released to the public. Their vehicles were clocked at speeds of up to 90 miles per hour, and part of the street race was captured by surveillance cameras. At about 3:15 p.m., the driver in the lead car lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a light pole. The impact was so severe that it almost tore the car in half before it burst into flames. The driver was pronounced dead at the scene. The mangled vehicle came to a rest in the parking lot of E. Neil Roberts Elementary. The extent of the tragedy could have been far greater, but fortunately, the school was closed for spring break. Number 5. Tragic race in Chatsworth. An illegal street race turned tragic in LA's Chatsworth neighborhood after a car plowed into a crowd of over 60 people. The collision occurred in a commercial area known for illegal street racing. In the pre-planned event, 21-year-old Henry Michael Gevagayan lost control of the Ford Mustang he was driving, which was described by the authorities as very powerful. The car swerved to a sidewalk, striking those who'd gathered to watch the race. 2 spectators were fatally injured while another was left in serious condition. The crowd had dispersed by the time the police arrived on the scene. Gevagayan fled as well. The police began their search for him and are seeking to bring murder charges against him. Bill Bustos, the LAPD's lead detective on the case, said during a press conference, "Please turn yourself in. It's just a matter of time before we get to you." Number 4. Crash in Massachusetts. In May 2018, 27-year-old Matthew Peter, driving his father's Subaru Forester, challenged Michael Luddington's GMC pickup in an impromptu street race. Both vehicles were driven at high speed on the residential Plain Street in Stoughton, Massachusetts. Luddington lost control of his vehicle and crashed it into a tree. His fiancée, mother of two, Angie Goodrich, was in the car as well. Both of them died on impact as Peter sped away. Then several months later, the police retrieved a video that originated from Peter's cell phone. It showed that he was the one who'd initiated the race. In the footage, he's recording himself driving erratically and yelling at other cars before engaging Luddington's pickup. When he tried to pull away, Peter reportedly could be heard saying, "Oh, get back here." According to the police, he recorded the moment that Luddington's car crashed. He sent the video to his father 30 minutes later, who didn't report it and was subsequently charged with impeding an investigation. Peter also sent a voicemail to his girlfriend describing what he'd just seen. According to the court documents, he later sent her disturbing texts, blaming the couple for the accident and saying that he wished he could revive them, only to put them through the pole again. He then instructs her not to tell anyone about the crash. Peter had a history of speeding violations and crashes. The charges he faced after this included 2 homicide counts, speeding, and using a mobile phone while driving. Number 3. Moreno Valley Freeway Crash. Valentino Miguel Ramos and fiancée Ariana Ruby Luna were the victims of a brutal car crash on the 60 freeway in California's Moreno Valley. The accident took place in late summer of 2018. They were in the backseat of a 1999 white BMW. 3 other people were present in the vehicle, including the driver, 21-year-old Pollo Nahera Perez. According to eyewitnesses, he was driving at a high speed because he was racing 2 other cars. Perez lost control of the vehicle, which crashed into the guardrail and flipped. The sheer force of the impact ejected 2 passengers while 3 others remained trapped inside. In the end, Ramos, Luna, Perez, and the man in the front passenger seat were all killed in the crash. Luna was pregnant at the time. Several days earlier, she and Ramos had just celebrated the baby shower of their unborn son. The only survivor was an unnamed 19-year-old man who sustained serious injuries. The cars that Perez had been racing with, a Honda Civic and a Mazda hatchback, fled when the accident occurred. Number 2. Ector County Accident. 4 lives were lost and a family was left in shambles after a devastating accident in Ector County, Texas. On October 1st, 2018, Albertizo Valenzuela and Christian Flores were racing their Dodge Challengers westbound on 16th Street. Flores then lost control of his car and crashed into Valenzuela's Challenger, sending it towards the eastbound lanes. It crashed into a Chevrolet Impala with 4 people inside. 47-year-old Araceli Galbadon and her children, 20-year-old Cassandra, 17-year-old Sergio, and 8-year-old Elias. Galbadon and her daughter died at the scene, as did Christian Flores. Galbadon's youngest son died from injuries sustained in the accident at the University Medical Center in Lubbock. Her eldest son, Sergio, who was taken to the same hospital, was in a serious but stable condition. Number 1. Rowville Car Accident. In February 2019, a suspected drag race gone wrong in Rowville, East Melbourne, claimed the life of 17-year-old Nikita Wells. The teenager was in the back seat of a Holden while her older sister was behind the wheel. They were involved in a horrific 3-car crash that sent one of the cars into an electric pole, violently tearing it in half. It's believed that Wells' sister lost control of their vehicle and careered into another after she'd been cut off. 5 people were taken to the hospital, but Wells was the only recorded fatality. Residents of the Rowville area claimed that they saw cars flying down the road prior to the crash. The police believe that at least 2 of the cars were drag racing in broad daylight when the accident occurred. Thanks for watching. Do you know other examples of street races gone wrong? Tell us about them in the comments section below.